You can probably guess where I'm going to start when it comes to the 2015 San Diego Chargers. I know at the end of the season you had your press conference and you said that locking up Phillip Rivers was a priority for this team. Why hasn't that happened yet?
Nothing's changed as far as, we want him to finish his career as a Charger. So that's number one. That's number one priority. We're ready to do an extension, but right now is not the right time for Phillip, which is fine by us. But when he's ready to go, we'll be ready to go.
Are you surprised that it seems to be in a wait and see mode?
Every player is different. Everybody has different thoughts. I can tell you he's ready to go this year. I mean, he's all in. I saw him this week. I saw him the last couple of weeks. He's excited about this season, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But the door's not closed to an extension, this month, next month, and 2 months either. So we'll just see where it goes. Are
you optimistic about it? I mean, do you feel that you've gotten to know Phillip Rivers and you get a sense of what the Chargers mean to him? Are you optimistic that you can get something done?
When he's ready to go, we'll get something done. So it's hard to characterize other than that. But I know one thing: he loves playing football, and he loves playing football for the Chargers. So I'm getting ready for this year.
Has he expressed to you why he's in a holding pattern?
Not too much. Players have their own feelings. Everyone is unique to where their situation, where their career is, and it's not something that we're worried about every night. As far as what's going on, we know what we're doing this year, and Phillip will make the right decision at the right time.
If you couldn't lock up Phillip Rivers, would you franchise tag him for next season?
It's way down the road. We'll see. But like I said, we want him to finish his career with the Chargers. So we'll see how that goes. But the intent and the plan is going to be here a long time.
So why work at Marcus Mariota? I'm sure you work at all the different players, but this is a guy that expected to give you a top 2 pick. What's the point of working at Mariota?
See, my question is, who says? That's the big thing. When you're in my seat, you can't assume anything. And this is what we do for a living. And I've seen players, go a lot higher than we thought they'd go and drop. And so it's our work to do everybody. We looked at a number of quarterbacks last year. It didn't seem like it was such a big deal last year. This year we're looking at a lot of quarterbacks again. This is what we do for a living. And I love information. I want information on everybody, and then we'll make decisions then. And I don't rely on what outside people may say is, hey, well, he's going to go high, so why would you talk to him? Well, this is what we do. We scout players.
Can you rule out a trade? I mean, if Phillip tells you, the draft is coming up, say Mariota's there at 17. Would you rule out a trade for Phillip Rivers? Can you rule that out?
When you're in the draft, there's no absolutes. You don't rule out anything. But this we scout everybody. This is what we do for a living. And like I said, Phillip's our quarterback. That's the road we're going down right now. And the rest of the scouting, I always tell our scouts, when you go out and scout, you have to scout like you have an empty roster. Like we don't have anybody because things change. That's what we do here. Then we're working out quarterbacks. We worked out quarterbacks last year. Not that big of a deal.
You did? Which ones?
A lot of them.
Okay.
Probably all of them. I mean, all the draftable quarterbacks for sure.
I'm going to go ahead and ask you about the players that you do have on this team. It looks as though taking care of the left side of the line was a priority. Re-signing King Dunlap and Orlando Franklin.
They were big, especially with King. Left tackle is a premium position. If he hits the free agent market and leaves, we have a major hole in our offensive line. And King's played excellent football. And they had a good chance. They had Orlando Franklin. He's been a durable player for 4 years. Played at a high level the last 2 years, actually last 3 years, but he played really well at guard. Has some versatility to play tackle, but we obviously see him as a guard. And the fact that he knows our scheme, knows our offense, knows Mike, there should be a seamless transition. So we're excited about that, and we think we got the front a little bit stronger this year than last year.
Mike McCoy today referred to Chris Watt as a center. Is he your center? Is that the plan moving forward? That seems to be Chris Watt's plan.
I think so. I mean, he has those center qualities that are hard to find, and centers are very difficult to find anyway. So, we know Chris is versatile enough to play center or guard, but I think he's going to have a bright future as center. So that's the plan we're going down right now.
Where do you see the strength of this team? I know you're always looking for more depth in every single area, but right now, we're in March still. Where do you see the depth of the Chargers?
I'll let you know in training camp. We'll see. We'll see, how we end up after the draft, where we are, see where our health is, and I'll go from there.
How big a blow is it to lose a guy like Eddie Royal, who's just tireless on and off the field, very popular and very productive?
Well, in one respect, Eddie did a lot for us as an inside slot receiver, very tough person to match up with, great work ethic, everything we look for. But, part of our business is, there's transactions every day. Players leaving teams, they're going to new teams, and you're signing other players. Nothing new, nothing out of the ordinary. But we brought Stevie Johnson in. Stevie's a different style than Eddie. But he can play the slot as well as play outside, and has a lot of skill. And what Stevie can do, he can beat man coverage and beats man coverage pretty consistently. So when you have a quarterback like Phillip, you just need guys that can get open, catch the ball, and Stevie can win one-on-one matchups. So we're excited about that.
How big a year is this for a guy like Ladarius Green? Final year of the contract, also the final year in the deal for Antonio Gates. Decision time with him. How big is the season for him?
For every player, every year is big. So, but we're looking for big things out of Ladarius. He got slowed up a little bit last year with a high ankle sprain, but he's got a lot of talent. He's gotten better at the line of scrimmage blocking. And like I said, he's a great athlete, catches the ball. He's a weapon for us, and we'll have to get him the ball a little bit more.
That's the same question then my final question that I asked Mike McCoy. You know, you lost Jarrett Johnson, who was like a heart and soul guy in that locker room. Nick Hardwick was early the season. As you guys move forward in this season, you have Phillip Rivers. You have a bunch of guys who are towards the end. Who do you see as a core of this group moving forward?
Well, we'll see. You know, part of when Nick Hardwick came in as a rookie and when Jarrett Johnson was a rookie at the Ravens, their first year they weren't leaders their first year either, and you kind of develop those. And so, as we have a void now with Clary no longer here and Hardwick and Dwight Freeney and Jarrett Johnson, other people will step into that void. It happens every year, but we'll find out who those young guys are, but we do have some potential leaders, but we'll see how that shakes out as we get into the season.